Hello, today I'm going to be giving you some survival tips for university. I think that people can generally underestimate the level of stress that university students can be under. I think it's because everyone kind of sees university as a time where people will party and get drunk, not really take anything seriously, using it as a time to just have fun, really. And don't get me wrong, some people definitely do use their time at university to do that. But there are also many people who actually want to work hard and put themselves under a lot of pressure. I think I was one of those people. I had a very hard time at some points in university, and especially during my third and final year, which I think is very common. So I'm going to be giving you some tips that I learned through experience more than anything else about what you can do to make this time a little bit more comfortable for yourself. Tip 1: take care of yourself. And that means eat well, exercise if you can, go to sleep at reasonable times, get enough sleep. Just generally look out for yourself and your basic needs. This is a lesson that's learned the hard way by many young people because they're usually using this time as their first time of freedom from their parents, and usually eating a lot of junk food, things like that. So it's not really going to last for you. Well, some people it might, but for most people, I think there comes a point where they've been eating so much junk food or going out drinking so much that it sort of all comes crashing down on them, and they think, what am I doing? Their body's sort of giving up on them, they're exhausted all the time. And then it's only then that they learn, maybe I should actually, give myself a bit more of a break and actually be a bit more sensible with what I'm doing. I don't mean to sound like a worried parent, a nagging parent, but this is genuinely a very important thing. It's about taking steps, small steps, in order to change your lifestyle a little bit and just look out for yourself a little bit more in general. I think that this is such a key thing, especially with mental well-being. You tend to forget about your body and your body's needs. But usually, if you find that you've had enough sleep, you're eating well, you're staying fairly active, it will actually help your brain health an awful lot more. Your brain health, your mental health, or your work as early as possible. Okay, now I really am sounding like a parent, but what I mean is a lot of university assignments, they have a lot of work, they're very research intensive. If you can split up the tasks into good chunks and get these things done as early as possible, you will minimise the amount of stress that you have later on. Now, I do understand many people generally work better closer to the deadline and when there's that bit of pressure on them. If that's the way you work, that's the way you work. You have to sort of find your own rhythm and cater to that, whether your working hours when you work best is in the middle of the night, the middle of the day, But even for people that can function best close to deadlines, I would strongly suggest they at least try to get some chunks of the work done before that time. And try is the operative word. It's just common sense, really. And again, this is a lesson that's often learned the hard way by many university students when they end up pulling an all-nighter. Another tip that I have is look and familiarise yourself with your university's counselling programmes and the help that they offer you. Most, if not all, universities in the UK at least have some sort of free counselling system in place, and I didn't really explore this until my third year, when I was actually feeling really, really low and having a really bad time. Familiarise yourself first before you get to that point where you can find help. And as I said, a lot of these services, they're completely free. They come as part of your tuition, you know, and why not use them? It's there for you to use. And there's no shame in actually asking for help and getting some help and being like, you know what, I'm actually finding things a little bit stressful, a little bit hard. So can I have some help, please? Even just having someone to talk to that's outside of your family, outside of your friends, a counsellor that's professional, it will help, and it helps many people. So don't be afraid to ask for help from your university service. And that goes for general, really. Don't be afraid to ask for help from anyone, but especially when you're having a lot of a stressful time at university and you're sort of getting to a point where you're questioning a lot of things, which probably will happen during your time at university at some point. I hope it doesn't, but it probably will. At least a little bit. And it's very normal. Hair change, earrings. Another good point I wanted to mention is ask your lecturers if you're struggling with work at university. Ask your course leaders. Ask any of your tutors. It's quite easy to feel like, you know, I'm an adult, I shouldn't have to ask for help. I should be understanding what I'm studying, and you can end up feeling really stupid, but you're not. Everyone is going to struggle with some of the academic information that you're trying to take in. Don't feel ashamed. And yeah, just because you're not in school anymore doesn't mean you automatically don't need to ask for help. This is what your lecturers are there for, is to help you through this course and to guide you through it. Yes, they're not going to spoon feed you the answers, but they're going to be there to offer you help, or at least they should be. Some lecturers are not so forthcoming with the help, at least in my experience. And again, you're just going to have to deal with that, just like in school when teachers would not be so great with help. But if you're finding that one lecturer isn't helping you very much, it might be worth going to another, or going to your course leader and just, you know, highlighting that you're struggling a bit. And but you know, any lecturer that's really worth their salt is going to help you and help you learn. So the main underlying point I want to make in this video is don't be scared to ask for help and to use facilities that are available to you. You may have a wonderful time at university with no low points whatsoever, and I hope that is the case, but prepare yourself for low points that might come along, just in case, you know. And I'm aware that with videos giving advice and tips, it can sound a bit naggy, and all of these points really are a bit common sense, but really it's so easy to, in the heat of the moment, just to forget basic things. And the main underlying point is just to try. With stuff like self-care, looking after yourself, exercising, eating well, it is just a matter of trying. Trust me, I hate when someone tells me to exercise. Moi? Exercise? I don't think so. But it's one of those things. And exercise doesn't have to mean you have to become a gym bunny and, you know, post all those gym selfies. You just, you know, make yourself a little bit more active. Try and go out for a walk every now and again. You know, try and move yourself around. I like to go for yoga if I have to exercise, because yoga is very gentle and relaxing, and it also helps a lot with sort of stress and things like that. It's nothing to do with fast cardio or anything ridiculous. And it's just a bit more my pace. But yeah, anyway, I hope that these tips were helpful to you, and I hope that you have a brilliant time at university and find it a really enlightening experience, no matter what happens. That's a good start, isn't it? Really? No, that's not right. Just prepare yourself for low points that may arise. Low points that may arise. Just